Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about solving inequalities using addition or subtraction. So, pretty much inequalities with addition and subtraction work exactly like equations do. Okay, the addition property of inequality, when you add the same number to each side of an inequality, the inequality remains true. So, just like we did before, let's say I added the same number to both sides of this inequality, which says 3 is less than 5. Well, that's definitely true. If I add, say, 6 to both sides of this, I get 9 is still less than 11. So it remains true. And we use it to solve things like this. X minus 4 is greater than 5. Okay, so we can add 4 to both sides of this thing, and this becomes x is greater than 9. So there's my inequality, x is greater than 9. And then I can graph that, okay? Subtraction property of inequality works the same way. When you subtract the same number from each side of an inequality, the inequality still remains true. Okay, so here, 3 is less than 5. If I subtract 1 from both sides of this, I'm going to get 2 is less than 4, which is still true. So in this case of an inequality right here, if I wanted to subtract 4 to solve this from both sides, I would get x is less than 1. This is the same inequality as this is, it just looks different. Okay, so x minus 3 is greater than 1, graph the solution. So the first thing I need to do is solve it. So on this one I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And I'm going to get x is greater than 4. Okay, so now I'm going to graph that. I'm going to go to 4. I got an open circle because it's greater than, it's not greater than or equal to. And I'm going to shade the greater than side. That's going to be to the right. And there we go. And we're done. So everything over here is a solution to both of these inequalities right here. So if I just took 10, if I wanted to look at it, let's say I took 10 and I plug it in here, I get 10 minus 3 is 7. And 7 is greater than 1. Okay, also down here, 10 is greater than 4. That's also a true statement. Okay, now you try a couple of these. Solve the inequalities and then graph the solution. So you got x minus 2 is less than 3, and you got x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 4. I'll give you a minute to do that. Pause the video, and then jump back on here when you're done. Okay, on this one, I'm going to add 2 to both sides of this equation. And I'm going to get x is less than 5. So I'm going to go over here to 5. I'm going to put an open circle at 5. I want less than. I'm going to shade this side. Okay, over here on this one I got x plus 6, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And I'm going to get x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So I'm going to go to negative 2. I'm going to put a closed dot. And I want greater than or equal to, so I'm going to shade the right side. And there you go. That's what it should look like on your papers. Okay, here's another one. I'll let you do this one. 15 is greater than or equal to 6 plus x. Go ahead and pause the video, do this one. Be really careful this one, though, because it's kind of set up funny. And then jump in and see what you got. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides of this equation. And I'm going to get 9 is greater than or equal to x. Now, here's the thing, is people will graph this incorrectly. They'll get the 9 right. Closed dot on 9 because it's, but they think greater than or equal to, and they'll shade this side. But that's not correct because the x is what we're graphing, and the x is actually less than or equal to 9. So it might be better for you to rewrite this with the x on the left side. Notice that the arrow's pointing towards the x, so it should be pointing towards the x here. This is actually x is less than or equal to 9, and so I'm going to shade this side of the graph over here. So that's a little bit tricky. Be careful of problems like that. A flea market advertises it has more than 250 vending booths. Of these, 184 are filled. Write and solve an inequality to represent the number of vending booths still available. Okay, so there are some available. We'll call those A. Plus, there are 184 that are filled. And that is going to be less than or equal to 250 total vending booths. So you could write it like this. I'm going to go ahead and simplify it by subtracting 184 from both sides. So this would be what, 6, this would be a 4, that'd be 14, that'd be 6, so there's 66. So there are 66 or less booths available. Okay. So you're going to get to do 1 through 33, the odd ones, in class. I look forward to seeing you. Have a great evening.